the project and 80% following a short project report at the end. There's going to be mentoring and help desk available to support businesses and creative enterprises participating. And then there will be an evaluation and feedback process both with the individual projects, the creative enterprises and the business involved, as well as a collective session with all of the projects in the Northwest in early December. Just to give you a few examples, okay, so we're targeting 4 industry sectors here in the Northwest that have been identified as significant for the region or identified as having high growth potential or as being highly innovative. And those 4 sectors are agri-food, life sciences, technology, and tourism. So we'll start with agri-food and look at a possible challenge in the agri-food sector. The challenge might be, how do I add value to a product range? I have a butcher business in Ballabafay, and I supply a lot of restaurants in Donegal with meat. And I'd really like to introduce a new branded range of products to add value to my business. So I could, for example, through this scheme, be partnered with, I have a website, I have an identity, a business identity, but I could be partnered with a web designer, a filmmaker, and a photographer who would photograph the product range, who would help me to brand the product range within my own existing business identity. Life sciences, the challenge could be around a new market need. So, for example, in an aging society, a lot of older people have to wear compression socks. But any of you who have an older person who's bound to wear those will know that there's only one type of compression socks available on the market. There's no choice. So, for example, if a medical services company was to collaborate with a fashion designer, they could introduce choice. It speaks for itself. Similarly, an awful lot of people now have to wear medical devices, portable medical devices, for a whole variety of conditions. Again, they're not particularly pretty or nice things to have to wear. A lot of people hate wearing them, actually. So, for example, if a medical device company was to partner with a jeweler, again, possibly introduce choice into the marketplace. Technology. The need could be around working with new raw materials. Technology companies work with new and innovative raw materials all the time. So do creatives, visual artists, whether they're sculptors, ceramicists, blacksmiths, they all work with materials. So there's lots of scope there for synergies and cross-pollination. Another example might be how a lot of technology companies are, they have brilliant products, but they might be so focused on the product that they find it hard to present it. They find it hard to pitch it in the marketplace. They find it hard to sell. So, for example, and they're too busy to kind of maybe pay attention to those things. So, for example, a theatre company could work with a technology company's sales team on presentation and sales skills. Finally, in tourism, the challenge might be, I have a company in the adventure tourism sector. I sell bicycle tours here in Sligo. My bicycle tours are selling very well within the region, but I really would like to up the ante and increase my sales and grow my company's potential. I know through the website that's possible, but I'm so busy with the day-to-day running of the business, I just don't have time to even think about that. So, for example, the bicycle tour operator could collaborate with a filmmaker, a writer, and a musician, because if he can show cyclists enjoying a holistic experience of the music of the region. We have great music in the Northwest. We have great storytellers and writers. We have magnificent landscapes. If some of that experience can be brought to life and animated on his website, then obviously he's going to stand out from the competition. So they're just a few examples of what types of challenges might exist and how they could be partnered with a creative service provider. And just finally, to summarise for you the 4CNW Business Innovation Support Programme. I suppose one important thing to note is through the programme we're actually developing a new infrastructure to support businesses into the future. And that business support agenda has a transnational element to it. So we're building a regional support structure across the North European periphery involving Northern Ireland and Scotland. We will be, as well as here in the Northwest, the 5 local authorities in Donegal, Leitrim, Mayo, Roscommon and Sligo are all participants and partners in this project, along with the Western Development Commission. So we're building that infrastructure, which is an important infrastructure in terms of the scheme going forward. Another key piece of infrastructure from the perspective of businesses here today is we are also building a creative directory mobile application. So that, for example, at the end of the programme, over the next year, we'll have approximately maybe 200 entries on that creative directory mobile application of creative enterprises that can help you address your business needs going forward around innovation. They can range from graphic designers to fashion designers to filmmakers, producers, writers, musicians, theatre practitioners, a whole range of software designers and so forth. So that creative directory mobile application means you can download it to your phone, you can look at a glance and see what businesses are there, and you will know that those businesses have the quality mark because they have to go through quite a rigorous process to actually get listed on the directory. So that when you go to approach any of those creative micro businesses, you know that you're going to get a good match and good value for your investment. The third stage is the matchmaking, and that's a particularly beneficial aspect to this whole programme from the perspective of businesses, because while there have been schemes similar to this in the UK and across Europe previously that look at the transfer of creative knowledge and experience, the, I suppose, key difference is that this scheme offers a brokered element. So you guys, through this pilot programme, will have access to a very wide range of expertise that will assess your business challenge and recommend the best creative match to meet your challenge. So that brokered element is a huge added value aspect. So as well as the talent voucher, where you can engage a creative skill set at a reduced cost, you'll also have access to that expertise around the brokerage of your business need with the creative talent that can best meet it. In terms of the fourth element, the creative challenge and the talent voucher, that's quite a new concept. So for example, many of you might think about working with a creative, but you'd be so busy with the day-to-day of the business, it's often very hard to get there. So this scheme offers you an obvious incentive to collaborate in new types of partnerships, and those new types of partnerships with creatives can help the evolution of the business, it can help you with ideas, and ultimately, it can help impact on your bottom line. The fourth element, the impact assessment and the evaluation. We're going to produce, because this is a European pilot, we're going to produce 10 case studies from the pilot. We're also going to produce 2 thought leadership papers on this process, so that the work that happens here over the next year will influence not just national policy in Ireland, as 4CNW is the only Irish programme in this scheme, but also at a European level. The work that's happening in the Northwest, in Northern Ireland and Scotland over the next year will inform innovation supports for businesses, new funding instruments, access to finance, and ideas around cluster development over the next phase of Europe 2020. So, for example, the European Commission are currently working on a whole range of funding schemes that will be rolled out between 2014 and 2020. This scheme that you're going to have an opportunity to participate in and get involved in, the outcomes of that will influence how Europe allocates that funding and that support. So it's a very important strategic initiative apart from everything else. And finally, I would just like to close by really encouraging you to leave here today. There's something new and exciting happening in this room today that hasn't happened before. This is a pioneering venture. It's a real opportunity to showcase one of the natural strengths of the Northwest. The Northwest has fabulous small to medium businesses. It has an unbelievably high index of creative talent. So the scheme offers an opportunity to match those strengths in a really new, innovative and unique way. I'd really encourage you to take advantage of it. It's an opportunity to really showcase the Northwest, and it's an opportunity for the Northwest to lead on next practice, better business support. My thanks for your attention.